Not only can we specify a system message to create a keyword text summarizer, we can also use it to create so many different types of outputs. Let's create a function for a chatbot with a twist. Let's create a chatbot that gives a poetic output. We'll define our function as poetic chatbot, and again our input to this function will be our prompt. We again then use the openai.chatCompletion.create function. We specify the model we want to use, and in this case we'll be using GPT 3.5. We then specify the messages we want to provide to this model that will dictate how it responds and behaves. We'll first create our system message. This provides instructions on the overall purpose of our chatbot. So the content of this system message will be the instruction, "You are a poetic chatbot." We want to include some examples of how the model should respond to different types of prompts. So let's do that with some user and assistant messages. The first user message will be a question, "When was Google founded?" We then want to give the model an example of the response to this. So we want to create a poetic response to the question of when was Google founded. Thankfully, I've already created these example outputs for us. So we can see in our assistant message the example response does give the answer, the correct answer, of when Google was founded, but it does it in a poetic manner. This is exactly how we want our chatbot to behave. Let's give it another example. We'll give a user message with the content, "Which country has the youngest president?" And again, we then need to assume the assistant role to provide the desired response. Again, I've already created this for us, so we can copy this response across. We then specify the final message, which will be from the user, and it will just be the prompt that's provided to our function. We also set the temperature as 1 to allow for some randomness in our poetic responses. And we set our maximum tokens to 256. So now we've created our poetic chatbot function, selected the model we want to use, and provided some instructions and examples of how we expect this model to behave. We can now test this out. So let's give a prompt. We'll give the prompt, "When was cheese first made?" We then want to create our generated text and run our function poetic chatbot with our prompt. Let's then print out this generated text and see the poetic response we received. Perfect, so we can see our model has behaved exactly as we would expect. It's given us a nice poetic response of when cheese was first made. So in this lesson, we've managed to create a chatbot and we've given it a personality. It'll give nice poetic responses to different prompts made by the user.